Carlos and Jesus were very spoiled and pampered children. They always had everything. At home, they never lacked food, candy, video games, and whatever they wanted. Their parents bought it for them, because they could, and also because they wanted to. At home, they had access to everything they wanted. They were never reprimanded if they wanted to play, swim in the pool, or spend all day in front of the TV. Julia, the mother of Carlos and Jesus, a divorced woman, enjoyed great possessions from her family's side and enjoyed what the children's father gave her for them. They lacked nothing at home, nothing material, but the heart of that family was lacking. Little by little, they would notice it. Because of this, they would grow up with the idea that they deserved everything, and that just by opening their mouths, their wishes would be fulfilled. They wore new clothes whenever they wanted, the best of the best. They attended private English classes, which they ignored and often fell asleep in class. At home, Emilia, a woman in her 40s, worked at the house, taking care of them, and helping with the household chores. She cooked and did the laundry. Carlos and Jesus did not learn to treat Emilia well. They would cry if she asked them to eat soup or food that was more nutritious for them. Emilia always treated them very well, not only because she worked at their house, but because she had grown very fond of them both. Emilia had worked in that house for 10 years or so and watched the children grow up. She loved them as if they were her family. That's why she always wanted the best for them. She thought that their spoiled gestures would pass with the years, but she never imagined what would happen next. One day, Emilia felt a little tired. She was in the kitchen preparing lunch when Carlos came in. He said, "Emilia, give me a lollipop." She said, "Lunch will be ready soon, Carlitos. Have a little patience," Emilia answered him as she sat down to rest her legs a little. "No, I want a lollipop and I want it now!" "Carlitos, please don't shout. I'm preparing a very tasty meal, and if you eat a lollipop—" Carlos interrupted her with his cries. "I want my lollipop. I don't want any food. Besides, you're not my mom. You don't get to tell me what to do. My mom pays you to do what I ask you to do." Emilia didn't want any trouble with Carlitos' parents, so she indulged him. As they always ask her to do, she gave him the lollipop and went to the bathroom. She locked herself inside to cry silently. Carlitos' words had really affected her. She felt really bad. Jesus also left the food on his plate untouched that day. They didn't even taste it. They told her they didn't want to eat those vegetables anymore. They were horrible. They preferred lollipops and cookies. There wasn't much that Emilia could do and intervene in the upbringing and formation of Carlos and Jesus. As much as she loved them, Carlitos was right. She was not their mother. Emilia could not help but think of her own children. She left them at home with her mother, who took care of them so that she and her husband could go out to work. She was grateful to have that unconditional help, but she was missing the best moments of her children's growth, who were the same age as Jesus and Carlos. She was also thinking about the food that these children despised and could be served to so many other children. Those rude and spoiled reactions of Carlos and Jesus were not just with Emilia. They were like with most of the people who came between them and their candy, games, and so on and so forth. During their brattishness, they yelled at their own mother, and Emilia found her in the living room crying and wailing about being a bad mother. Emilia came up with an idea that, without weighing it, would completely change the course of these children's lives. She asked Carlos and Jesus' mother to give her permission to spend a day with them at home. They could share a different kind of day with her children and Emilia. Julia, Carlos and Jesus' mother, trusted Emilia very much, and with her eyes closed, she agreed and gave them permission to carry out the plan. They would go without her. They would spend a day alone without their parents with other children. Emilia picked them up and took them to her house to share with her children and her family. It was a very special day. They took advantage of the weekend to play games as a family. They sat together at the table, watched movies together, did all the activities they normally did with Emilia's family, with the only difference that this time they had 2 guests. Carlos and Jesus enjoyed the visit very much. They were surprised by the way Emilia related to her children. They imitated their friends, eating everything that was served on the plates. They played all the games that were proposed to them. They laughed a lot and never reacted with a spoiled attitude. They really had a wonderful time. Upon their arrival at home, Carlos and Jesus ran to hug their mother. She welcomed them with a big smile and open arms. They promised their mother not to misbehave again, not to yell at Emilia or anyone else, and to eat all the food. The mother cried with excitement and thanked Emilia for caring and loving her children. It is important to teach our children the value of family, respect for their parents, and the people who care for them. Above all, to teach them the value of material things, that they are not everything in the world. Nothing material covers the lack of love and affection that we harbor in our hearts. If you liked this story, like and share it with your friends and family. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel. See you next time!